Ready for a deep dive. Today, we're tackling a story that's all about family and tough choices.
Oh, yeah. Sounds fascinating.
We're going to unpack Genesis chapter 13, the story of Abram and Lot.
Okay.
It's one of those timeless stories, you know.
Right.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah. What would I do in that situation?
Exactly. And what's so interesting is it really speaks to those moments when we have to make a choice, but the choices are not so clear-cut, you know?
Absolutely. It's like that fork in the road. Which path do you take?
Yeah, and it starts with Abram returning from Egypt.
Okay.
And he's not just coming back, he's coming back loaded.
Oh, wow.
Very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
Well, that's the dream, right?
Right. You would think that's the happy ending.
Yeah, happily ever after.
You'd think, right.
Yeah.
But here's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Because as Matthew Henry points out in his commentary, you know, wealth can be a blessing, but it can also be a burden.
Right. It's like suddenly needing a bigger garage, but for your soul.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
More stuff.
More problems.
More problems, exactly.
So for Abram and Lot, all their wealth, their livestock, it starts causing some tension
Sure.
because the land can't handle it all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the text literally says the land was not able to bear them that they might dwell together.
I see.
It's like trying to fit two elephants
Yeah.
in a studio apartment.
Oh, that's a good visual.
Right.
I like that.
And you have to remember that this is a time when land and resources were everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So this isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's
Yeah.
a threat to their livelihood, their future.
Definitely a high-stakes situation.
Yeah. And on top of that, you've got this pressure cooker of family ties, economic anxieties, and the added fun of potentially hostile neighbors.
Oh, right. Like who?
The Canaanites and Perizzites are mentioned.
Okay, so they're living in the land at the time, too.
Yeah. So talk about a tense situation, right?
Oh, absolutely. It would have been so easy for things to just blow up,
Right.
you know, for resentment and conflict to just take over. Exactly. And that's where Abram makes a really remarkable move.
Okay. What does he do?
So instead of saying, hey, this is my land, I'm the head honcho here,
Right.
he offers a solution.
Okay.
They'll separate.
Okay.
And Lot gets to choose which part of the land he wants.
That's pretty generous.
Now, you have to understand,
Yeah.
in Abram's time, the head of the family
Right.
had all the authority.
Of course.
So for Abram to give Lot the first pick,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Wow.
It would have been unheard of.
Really?
Yeah, he's putting family and his nephew's well-being
Right.
above his own gain.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
So what does Lot do?
Well, he's standing there looking at all this land.
Yeah.
And he picks the plain of Jordan.
Okay.
And it's described as being like super fertile,
Yeah.
well-watered everywhere, like
Yeah.
Garden of Eden level nice.
Really? Wow. So like prime real estate?
I mean, can you blame him?
No, not really. It sounds idyllic.
Right, but here's where the story gets really intriguing. That choice came with a catch.
Oh, a catch.
Yeah, what did he miss?
Tell me more about this catch.
Well, Lot seems to have been blinded by all the good stuff.
Yeah.
The fertile fields, you know, abundant water.
Right.
He overlooked something pretty important.
What's that?
That his chosen land was right next door to Sodom.
Yeah,
Sodom, known for its wickedness.
Sodom. It's practically synonymous with bad choices.
Exactly. And the text is very clear about this.
Uh-huh.
It says that the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
Yikes. Imagine having that as your neighborhood.
Right.
Talk about bad neighbors.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
It does.
Would I be so focused on the good stuff that I miss those red flags?
Yeah, it's a classic case of all that glitters.
Totally. And I think that's where we really see Abram's character shine.
Oh, how so?
He could have easily been like, hey, Lot, tough luck. You made your bed, now lie in it.
Right?
But instead we see this unwavering faith, this trust in something bigger.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what happens next? Well, as soon as Lot takes off towards Sodom,
Okay.
God reaffirms his promise to Abram,
Oh, wow.
granting him and his descendants all the land he can see.
Talk about a plot twist.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like a cosmic lesson in delayed gratification.
I like that.
Lot went for the instant reward, but Abram's playing the long game.
It's about being discerning.
Yeah. What are we really feeding our spirit?
Exactly. What truly aligns with our higher purpose?
And, you know, it makes you think about our modern-day plains of Jordan.
Oh, what do you mean?
Those things that seem so alluring.
Yeah, like what?
The quick wins, the flashy distractions.
Uh-huh.
That might be leading us away from a more fulfilling path.
It's so easy to get caught in that trap, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, we're bombarded with messages telling us to buy this achiever that look like this.
Right.
But Abram's story reminds us to pause,
Yeah.
to step back and really ask ourselves.
What truly matters.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about remembering that sometimes letting go
Hmm.
is the key to receiving something even greater.
You know, Abram surrendered his claim to the fertile plain.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he opened himself up to this incredible promise.
And that's the heart of the lesson here, isn't it?
What is that?
It's not about renouncing material possessions.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that true wealth isn't measured in cattle or gold. It's in our connection to something larger than ourselves.
Something that transcends the material world.
Exactly. It's about aligning our choices with a deeper sense of purpose.
Yeah. But that's easier said than done.
Oh, it definitely is, especially in our world of instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But stories like this give us a roadmap.
I like that.
A roadmap.
A reminder that sometimes the most challenging path, the one that requires sacrifice and trust,
Yeah.
that's the one that's ultimately the most rewarding.
So as we're navigating our own modern-day wilderness,
Yeah.
full of these tempting plains of Jordan,
Right.
what can we learn from Abram's example
Yeah. What choices can we make that reflect this deeper understanding?
of what truly matters?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah, it's like Abram understood that real wealth wasn't about, cows and gold.
Right.
It was about his relationship with God.
Yeah, and his willingness to follow that path even when it was hard.
Exactly. And that's where the real deep dive happens,
What do you mean?
It's not just about analyzing the story, right? It's about connecting it to our own lives.
Yeah. Making it personal.
And asking ourselves those tough questions.
Like what?
Like, what are my guiding principles? Am I living by them?
Good questions.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Abram and Lot,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
Think about a decision you're facing right now, big or small.
Yeah.
It could be about your career, a relationship, how you spend your time,
It could be anything, really.
anything. And ask yourself,
Okay.
what would Abram do?
I like that.
Where's your focus?
Yeah.
Are you drawn to the plain of Jordan,
Okay.
looking for that instant gratification,
Right. The easy path.
the material comfort?
All that glitters.
Or are you willing to trust in something bigger,
Mm-hmm.
even if it means taking a less conventional path?
That can be scary.
It can, because sometimes the most rewarding journeys
Yeah.
are the ones that challenge us, the
Right.
ones that make us step outside our comfort zones.
To embrace the unknown and to believe in the possibility of something truly extraordinary.
That's a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
The story of Abram and Lot, it reminds us that our choices matter,
You do.
but it also offers us hope.
Yeah.
Even when we mess up, even when we choose the plain of Jordan, we can always course correct.
Right.
We can always get back on track
Find our way back.
to our purpose.
Yeah.
And maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe,
Yeah.
if we choose the path of integrity and generosity and faith,
Mm-hmm.
we might find ourselves inheriting more than we could have ever dreamed.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.